Hey, what do you think of this?
Oh, look at that. The Dan
This is my favorite guitar at the moment. I'm completely changing the subject.
That's all right.
These are Seymour Duncan lipsticks.
Nice.
And I've got it wired so that you can. I don't like pull out things, but I'd rather have a switch. But if you pull that out, it brings that in, so you can have all three.
I got you. Or back and front.
Or you can have those two.
Yep. That's what I like Strats as well.
The one combo you can't have on a 5-position switch.
Yeah, and it's weird. Isn't it weird that the back and front on a Strat for some reason sounds more Gretschy than it does a Tele to me? It has more of a kind of a Gretsch thing. And
yeah. And all three is actually slightly Gibson-y in a funny sort of way. It's picking up all those, that sort of frequency thing. I'll tell you what I have got, which is I'm very lucky to have, is, I'll show you actually. You see that in the corner?
Oh yes.
It's a 145 Leslie cab.
Nice.
With that.
Oh, there you go. Yep, the preamp. Yep.
Trek preamp. And I'm a very lucky guy because I absolutely love it. I love slow.
The slow sound of Leslie sounds great. Yeah.
What do you think of that? What do you think of that?
Oh, look at that.
48 Oahu. I got the pedal steel that goes with it as well.
Nice.
Not pedal steel, the lap steel.
Well, speaking of amps, what has been kind of your go-to thing? I mean, have you changed stuff over the years, like from the Pretenders to all the other gigs, or have you had kind of a...
Well, it's really funny because in the last couple of years, I've gone back to that as my go-to. And that is a 20-watt Marshall PA20.
Awesome.
That thing there?
Yep.
There's a Princeton reverb underneath it, which I'm going through at the moment. But the Marshall 20, PA20, I've got two of them. Both original from 1968, 69. I can't really find anything better, to be quite honest.
Right.
So this is the...
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sitting in the room with it. It sounds better, I'm sure, but...
Yeah, there's nothing like... of the devices, I've found that the best one that I've used is this thing made in Germany called the Neo Instruments ventilator. It's got a pretty convincing slow. And
I've tried the ventilator, yeah.
Yeah, but
you can change the mic distances and...
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a cool slide. But there's nothing like the real air.
Well, I'm not going to start taking it down the pub. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
Play at a pub gig, but it's a great thing. I'd stick two mics on it. I've got a Neumann 84 and a ribbon mic, and I just put them on the top. I just put them on either side on the horn.
Right.
I don't bother with the bottom. You should put three mics on them, really, but you're not going to hear that bottom, and you're just going to get rid of it,
Right.
I've gone on far too long. Yeah, that was my Leslie. So it's just a great thing to have,
I like it. I like it all. Well, we've got about 5 minutes left here, Robbie. I was just going to ask you, prior to the pestilence causing us all to kind of sequester ourselves and so on and so forth, I always say, is it John Ilsley or Isley? How do you say his name?
Ilsley.
Now you've been gigging with him for a fair bit now, right? A couple years. Is that one of your main road gigs,
on and off,
or are there different things?
Well, some of it's his stuff, and then some of it's a kind of a Dire Straits nod, right. And he does a Q&A, so he does a bit of a talk about, what was life like back in Dire Straits when they were, hitting it big, and
right.
So I do that, and he
looks like he's a big fella. Is he like my size? Is he like 6'7"? He looks tall.
He's about 6'2".
Oh, okay.
A little taller than me.
Okay.
But he's a lovely guy, and I don't mind doing doing the nod to Mark, because I work with Mark as well, right. On and off. I played on Mark's last album. I mean, you wouldn't be able to hear it. It's just some kind of rhythm stuff on a couple of tracks on the last album, and I was helping Mark out with his musical that he wrote. The Local Hero.
Oh yeah.
So I still work with Mark, and when Mark does promo in the UK, Richard Bennett is his right. second guitar player, but he doesn't get Richard over just to do a bit of radio and TV and stuff. So I do it. So I'm kind of the sort of reserve guy, and I do the stuff with Mark and the stuff with John, and a few sessions with Mark and bits and pieces at home. I did a big gig at the beginning of March, just before they locked everything down, for the Royal Marsden Cancer Hospital.
Okay, yeah.
I told you about that. I played with Van Morrison and Tom Jones and Eric Clapton and Cat Stevens and Paul Young and Bonnie Tyler and Paul Carrick. God, it was crazy, and it was just before the lockdown as well. We were all stuck. We were all touching elbows instead of shaking hands.
Right.
It's just before that thing started. So that's kind of the last thing, apart from a few gigs with John Ilsley, and we had to cancel the tour after 4 dates.
Right.
That was the last thing I did. So I've done a couple of sessions for people at home, and I've got my album mixed and nearly mastered now. So that's the next thing to happen,
Excellent. Well, I look forward to hearing that, my friend.
Yeah. Well, I look forward to, it'd be great when all this humbuggery is finished, and you come over and do some gigs. I'll come up and see you.
Oh, that'd be awesome. It'd be
without any doubt at all.
Well, we'd love. We have something set for late October, early November, but I have a hard time believing it's going to happen. But I will keep.
Well, this year. Yeah. I think it would be. I hope that it comes off, but I think they've. Certainly in this country and in your country, to a certain extent, they've just left it all a little bit too late.
Right.
And we're paying the price, and we're going to have to, be careful, right? Exactly. It's a real shame. Yeah, it's a real shame.
It is. But we shall do what we can to prevail in any sort. But listen, thank you so much for spending time with us. It's been an absolute blast. Great actually getting to talk to you. And thanks for showing us some cool guitars and some of your great playing. And just an absolute pleasure to get to know you. And I look forward to actually seeing you in person.
I've been a fan of yours since before we hooked up on the internet. Watching you doing your clinics and stuff, and great player and a great entertainer and a great educator as well. So
well, thank you very much. That means a lot.
Pleasure. It's a real pleasure for me. You do. I can play a bit, but I'm in awe of you and what you do.
Oh well, bless you. Thank you very much. It means a lot. All right, my friend. Thank you so much. Have a good one. We'll see you soon. We're going to run out of time here.
Keep me posted on the technical stuff, because I'd love to be able to make a better sound and get it across the internet at some point.
Absolutely. I'll keep you apprised.
If you want to keep it a secret, then that's fine.
No, I'll be glad to tell you. No problem. I'll keep you apprised.
Lovely. Yeah. You take it easy and look
Take
after
it easy,
yourself.
Robbie. Have a good one. Thank you.